one of the most crucial things when it comes to website speed is your images and how fast they load and how much they weigh when they load or the page loads for your clients or for their users. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be covering the CompressX or the AVIF WebP converter. They went and sponsored this video, so thank you very much CompressX for sponsoring today's video. And for you who's watching this tutorial, this plugin is 100% free. And the best part, it is very easy to use, as you'll be able to see in this tutorial. Before we dive in, I just want to show you this current website that you're looking at. What's the speed of it when it comes to Page Insight? And we can see here that my website has a score of 86 out of 100 on desktop, and while on mobile, I have 79 out of 100. And if I'll switch back to the desktop version and I'll scroll to the bottom, we can see here that one of the first things that Google tells me is that I do have to switch or consider using a plugin in order to convert my images on my website to the next generation format like WebP. And this is exactly what this plugin is about to do, as you might be able to see just in a few minutes. So without further ado, let's dive right in. First thing first, we'll have to install and activate CompressX or AVIF WebP converter on our website. So let's head over to our plugins and then add new plugin. And over here, over in the search box, we'll want to search for CompressX, and we want to install and activate this exact plugin. So I'll click install and click activate. And from here, I'll head over and navigate to the settings. So this is exactly what we're going to be covering because there's only one page. So it's that simple. As we can see here, the first thing that we'll have to do is enable the plugin to convert our uploaded or new upload images to our website by enabling this option. So every image that either you or your users would be uploading to their website or to your website, if you're using the website, then all those images will be converted to AVIF or WebP, whichever way you choose to. Just in a few minutes, you'll be able to see what we're going to be configuring. All right, the next thing here is we have the GD or iMagick libraries. Now, these ones are only for you to choose, but I'll head over with the GD. Now, if you're not sure if your website environment do support those libraries, the simplest way that you can do that is by clicking over here, check environment, and over here, you'll be able to see here under the GD extension over here or under the iMagick extension over here, whether each one of them is installed or not installed, supported or not supported. And if you're not sure or you want to enable those libraries, you can reach out to your hosting provider and see whether it's available or not, or whether they will be able to assist you by enabling them. In my case, both of them are properly installed, so I can choose which one of them I want to use. But again, as I told you before, I'll be using the GD one, so I'll head over back. And then over here, we have a choice, whether we want to choose WebP or AVIF. As far as I know, iMagick supports the AVIF. As you can see here, this option is now available, but as I told you, I'll be using the GD because I want to convert my images on this website to WebP. So I'll be leaving this one on. The next thing here is the compression level. Now, by default, the compression level will be on thumbs up, which is the sweet spot, which is not too much compressed while keeping the quality at its best. And we can see here we have the left arrow, the right arrow, lossy and lossless, while the lossless is the less compressed but has more size to the image, while the lossy is the most compressed and could result in some loss of quality in the image. I'll head over in this case with the custom, and I'll leave the WebP at 80 and the AVIF at 60, and I'll just click save and close. And then before we continue to the general settings, we'll be able to see here that we have also pro features. Now in this tutorial, I'm going to be covering only the free version, and you'll be able to see how much you're getting out of the free version just by all the features that we have here. And then right here on the right, we'll be able to see how much percent of the images has been outputted to WebP or to AVIF. We can also start the bulk process by clicking over here, but we're going to be clicking that just in a few minutes. Now here we can also see here that this one is the pro version. Also over here we have the force all images to be reprocessed. If you wish to reprocess all the images, we can see here under the general settings the browser compatibility. Now this is only down to your preferences, but do take into consideration that first of all you have all this explanation what each of those does, but this is due to the fact that AVIF is not supported on all browsers. So do take into consideration how you want to handle it, whether it's going to be a rewrite rule or use the picture tag. I'm going to be heading over with the rewrite rule. Now the rewrite rule, what's good about it is that it will serve the images, whether it's the AVIF if you choose AVIF, and if the browser is not supporting AVIF, it will revert to WebP, and if the web browser is not supporting WebP, then we'll revert back to the original image format. So I'll head over with the use rewrite rule, and the next thing we have here is do not convert PNG images. You might want to enable it only if you have images with transparent backgrounds. Now, this one is useful. You can see here each of those options is applying to different formats, as we can see here, WebP or AVIF. In my case, I'll head over with the do not convert PNG images to WebP because I will be uploading PNG images with a transparent background. Now, the next thing we have here is remove EXIF data. So this data is being added to images when you're taking images with your smartphone. Things like date, time, location, and so on. So you might wish to remove them if you're planning to add images that you took with your smartphone for privacy purposes. So things like that would not be able to be shown if someone wished to download or dig into the information of the image you took. In my case, I'll head over and remove that. And the next thing we have here is the parameters of processing images. So in a nutshell, what it does is you'll be able to configure how many images would be compressed or being processed at each given cycle. As we can see here, we have from 1 up to 20, but I'll leave that as 5. The next thing we have here is the automatic removal of files in output formats larger than the original ones. It means when this plugin converts or compresses these images, sometimes the image can be even larger than the original size of the image. So for example, I have an image of, I don't know, 200 kilobytes, and then it outputs that as a 1 megabyte. Then we'll remove the 1 megabyte, which is was supposed to be compressed, and we'll leave the original image of 200 kilobytes. And the next thing we have here is auto resizing large images. So we can see here that if I want to resize, whether it's the maximum width, the maximum height of an image, you can do that right over here. And I'll tell you why is that useful. Let's say you want your images to be not larger than an X amount of width or a height, because you know where you need them or what's the largest width of your website. For example, 1400. So you want to set up your width to 1400, and what it would do is we'll take the uploaded image, it will make it width of 1400 and then compress the image, meaning you're saving twice. So for example, your image is being uploaded, it is already in the 1400 from what it was supposedly supposed to be. From that, it will compress the image, meaning the original image was X amount of megabytes, kilobytes, whatever it was. Then it was resized to 1400, and then from there it got compressed or got outputted in the new format. And the next option, if you're using Cloudflare, you might want to enable that option, but in my case, I won't be enabling that. And so far, I'll head over and click Save Changes. The next section we have here is choose the thumbnail size you want to process. If you didn't know, if you upload an image to WordPress, usually what it does is take this specific image and then generates a thumbnail for each given size. As we can see, original size, thumbnail, medium, large, and so on. Now, this option allows you also to take those images and put them through this compression process. In other words, you're also optimizing those images, those thumbnails, medium, large, and so on sizes over there. So this is even better. I'll be leaving that as it is. Everything is checked. So I'll click Save Changes. And the next thing we have here is exclude folders. So for example, you don't want specific folders to be included in this compression or in this process. So you can simply head over through those folders, sift through and see what you don't want, and just click the plus icon, and then it will move right over here. And if you want to remove them, just click the minus icon and it will remove from the exclude folders. The next thing we have here is the custom folders. If you want to compress specific images in specific folders that are not included so far, you'll be able to do it from here. For example, I have, I don't know, plugins, and I want to add them over here. You'll be able to see here, I have 870 files over there. And the same goes over here. You click the plus icon, it will move to the right and will compress all those images over here. And if you don't want to, you just click the minus icon and it will remove that out of there. In this case, I'll move it over here one more time. And then the next thing we have here is also force all images to be reprocessed, as we saw just before right at the top. And we can see here the last option here is delete images generated by CompressX. So for example, you want to delete all those compressions, you want to delete the plugin and all of its data, you'll be able to do that right over here. Just copy the delete word over here, paste it over here, click go, and you're good to go. I'm not going to do that because I do want to compress the images. So in my case, I'll scroll to the top and then we'll start our process. So everything looks good to me. So I'll head over and click start bulk processing. So this takes about a few minutes, but it also depends on the size of your website, how many images you have on your website, and also other information that the plugin is processing. So let's just give it a few minutes and then I'll be back once it's done. And there we go. It processed 22.92 megabyte of images and it's completely free, as we can see over over here. I'll close that and we can see here that everything is great. And also we can see here 77.61% of images was outputted to WebP. With that in mind, let's head over to our media library. And then over here, we'll be able to see our images. And right here under the compress X column over here, we'll be able to see the original size, the WebP size, the AVIF size, and also the thumbnails generated. So we can see here how much it saved us even by percentage. Now, I want to try something and upload 2 images with over 1 megabyte and see how that handles that. So I'll head over and add media file over here, and then I'll add 2 images over here. It already started, so it's already uploading them. And we can see here I have the first dog and then the second dog. And now let's see how much it compressed it. And then let's see the comparison in quality. So let's head over to our library again. And then over here, we'll be able to see here that each one of them is over 1 megabyte. So we can see here 1.30 megabytes and the other one is 2.07 megabytes. And we can see here how much it saved us. So on the first one, which is larger than 2 megabytes, 82.28%. And we can see here that now the image weighed 374 kilobytes. And then the other one is also saved us 89.89%, down to 116.87 kilobytes. And let's see now the quality. So let's head over to our first image here. So the 2 megabytes over here. And let's open that up and let's see. Wow. I don't know if there is so much a difference. I mean, there is, but I don't think that it's so visible to the naked eye because it still looks very, very high quality. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you in this video. I really hope this video helped you. And if it did, please leave a like. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any tutorial that I post on WordPress, Elementor, WooCommerce, or any other third-party plugins for WordPress. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next one.